music fam, Dark Angel's Journey. It's Friday. Anyway, so this week has been a doozy for me, and wow, I want to go through a few trades that I saw yesterday, didn't take. I have a whopper of a drawdown that I need to fix in the coming weeks, and I just want to wow, I want to show you the long that I had set up for last, like the last trade of the day. Because I didn't take the first two, which would have been beautiful. Um, and just show you how they kicked me out and then went straight to my take profit, like right after. I was like, what? But let's analyze why my entry was wrong and figure out what I could have done better to get what I needed out of that. So if that sounds like a good time, let's go already. I'm gonna get tiny. All right, so I'm using the single screen, so I'm just be, straight up this way. Let's go take a look at super charts. Let's connect my sad, my sad paper trading. Let me show you. So I'm down to 18,725. All right, so it's been a doozy of a week. I don't really understand how we got to 150 when I was um only risking 8 picks, but all right. Must be spread. Must be spread. Anyway, so let's dip into our mesh and let's take a look at that's where are we? We're all the way down here. Okay. Let's go to the 5 minutes. So let's take a look at the afternoon trade first. Where is this? Uh, like this, this spike right here took me right out. So look at it. I left it on here so you guys can see, right? So, um, they were hanging out inside of this little area here. I think I didn't specify, but I think it was like a volume imbalance. So it's 5 minutes. Let's check the 4, 3. Yeah, it was like small in between 2. Where did I see it? 1. Why does it do that? Get all the way back over here. So it was hanging out inside of this volume imbalance that I saw somewhere. Like, come on. Too far. It's weird. There was something, and they were just bouncing through. So I was like, all right, let me take a long from here, which I did. Had an 8 tick stop loss. And they were bouncing, shook me out, and then now I didn't have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't have a lot of confidence in this one because I figured they would go up or down. Now, let's take a look at where they bothered to go to, right? When they did this annoying shift, right? So let's look on the 15-minute. So what did they do? They spiked. Ooh, they really just dropped, didn't they? That's the 8 o'clock. Ooh, the 6 o'clock's open. They dropped to the end of the new week opening gap. Ooh, tap the what is that? The high of that is 4148.75, and the low of this candle is 4148.50. So they dropped just inside of that. What was in this general vicinity that was calling them so very? There's an old high right here. So they didn't really tell me what they were doing except just shaking the poor unfortunate souls out like myself. Let's go back to the 5 minute, right? So if I was being smart, fair value gap, they closed it, order block. So this is why it's a learning experience, right? My what I should have done is for this fair value gap that they've been acting stupid around, set my 8 ticks from here, still would have gotten stopped out there. Maybe because we're in the new week opening gap or at the base of it, maybe we should consider setting the 8 ticks below that. That would have saved us. And then we would have gotten what we wanted, which is to be a few ticks above this buy side. And that would have netted us 62 ticks in like, what's, I was watching this candle just kick me out and then run up. I'm like, you, you A word. This is like, come on. I was trying to like fix my drawdown. Instead, I lost $150. What? Let me do some math, right? So I thought 8 ticks was $100, right? So I don't understand how we ended up with 150 for 150. So 8 divided by 4 times 2 times 50 is $100. So why is this 150? It's just twice it's done that to me when I had 8 tick stop losses and it's made it 150. So I don't really understand what's going on there. But anyway, so that taught me a lesson. Always plan for the order block that is below the insanity. And then, you're thinking it's going to go up or down, then do that and set your stop loss. Take the new opening gap into account. Yeah. Anyway, so let's dip back into the earlier part of the morning. So I did make a video. I have not prepped it or tested it or anything, right? So this is the 8:30 drama. So in my mind, I had like a setup that I was looking for along to just 5 handles, honestly, in this general vicinity. So here's what I was thinking. And actually, let me find my journal screenshots. I gotta open up my journal and let me pull back and let me show you the morning setup, right? So let me just do a copy of that. And just for funsies, let me just paste that in here. Will it let me paste? Why isn't it pasting? Did it paste somewhere else? Hold on. Copy. Okay, I don't understand. It's not copying from my journal. You know what? I don't want y'all to feel like I'm not being upfront. So I'm going to take a snipping tool out of my journal. And that took a screenshot of my screenshot. And I'm going to just copy that. And let's see if that'll paste so I can show you. Okay, there we go. Weird. Anyway, so this is a screenshot from my journal. And as you can see, there was a breaker block that got created on the 5 minutes here that I was thinking they were going to come back down into because there's a volume imbalance, tap that, and then 5 handles. Because as you can see, I have it noted here, 5 handles. That's where I was aiming for. Quick and dirty, right? And that was around 8 a.m. that formed, right? So let's take a look. Let's delete that now. And today's 28. So let's go to the 5 minute and let's go to where I was finding that. So right around here. Okay. So here's what I was thinking. We have a lower low. It's been traded through, right? So then the high of the highest green candle is the breaker, right? In my mind. So I was expecting, so let's just recreate this, right? So I was expecting breaker right here. So it's the bullish breaker. And then I was also looking at the fair value gap. So I was thinking maybe, get an entry for the top of the breaker and give myself an 8-tick stop loss. So from there, 8 ticks. And then I was looking for 20 ticks, just 20 ticks. Technically, when I'm doing this, I'm really looking for like 21, 22 ticks because I want to like cover fees and stuff. But you see it, right? Shift. So we'd already been going up, 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 but we're going sideways and it needed to choose a direction, right? So I was waiting for this I had an alert up here and one down here. So whichever way they wanted to go. So I waited for this to get broken. Pool that created the breaker, low, lower, low, traded through. Highest green candle is now my breaker. Order block. Well, so when there's a breaker inside of the order block, or sorry, an order block inside of the breaker, it's also possible to take the entry from there, I think. Let's see, the high of this candle is 49,625. The low of this candle is 49,625. So let me look at my screenshot because I feel like that's where I would have wanted to take it because I've been burned so many times when there's an order block inside of it. So no, I took the order block at the top of the breaker, but I wanted to be below the yeah. So I took it from where I'm showing right here, and I wanted to encompass the entire breaker. This is on the 5 minutes, right? So this entire candle right here. So I wanted to be below it. Could have taken it from this order block, which is inside of the breaker, and that would have been even better. And yep. So if I look to the left and I'm seeing, this would have been buy side at the time with a fair value gap, which I hadn't delineated at the time, right? Then I could have dropped my fib to do a little, pretty sure I did actually, to do a little like where they might go. Given the fact that we're waiting for the 8:30 news, I probably would have just taken the 4010, 4101.75 and been happy with that. Trying it for another one, see if there's any correlation. These are pretty close together, so maybe that one, which is where we ended up. So that was that trade. So let me get another snipping tool on my later in the day setup, right? So let's get a quick snip. All right, perfect. And let's go ahead and copy this over and I'll show you the next one. So what I keep doing, guys, it's crazy. So what I keep doing is I keep like tape reading and like looking at areas and seeing what I want to see and then not taking the trade. Then I go and take a trade and it's just wrong. Isn't that ridiculous? So this happened around 11 o'clock. And what I'm and this is when they started that parabolic upward move, right? I was like, yes, gonna come back down to here, and it just like exploded. And then I thought to myself, see, I have two setups in here. I was like, okay, they retraced back down into this order block down here, and you could if you'd missed this, you could have gotten another like five handle or something. So let's go take a look at that, right? And I was thinking to myself, like, man, why did I press the button? I never press the button when I'm supposed to press the button, right? It's so annoying. All right, so for this one, I was looking at it on, I think, the 1 minute. Let me check my, yeah, on the 1 minute. So for this one, we've already broken out. We've gone up, right? And let me do a little cleanup here. And we've gone up. So let's look at the 1 minute and let's see what I was seeing at the time. So if we're going to continue being parabolic, right, heading up, my thoughts were this, right? We had order block down here and a nice shift. What we didn't really have is a breaker, right? But we're already in an upward trend and we had, these two fair value gaps, a volume imbalance in here, another fair value gap down here. So I was thinking, and honestly, as I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, so we're already going up. So I was thinking most likely, um, they'll come back down into the next set of order blocks. I was just basically watching it, right? And I was thinking maybe with this volume imbalance, it might like hang out here, tap it, and then go. And, from my screenshot, I was thinking since the volume imbalance is there, and I've been finding that they have a tendency to spike below, and there is a fair value gap just below it. A small one, but it's there. So I think, let's see. Did we get, let me look at my screenshot. So I think I was looking at like, if we look at the 5 minute, there's probably a better, why can't they ever just stay where I want them to stay? Okay, let's go over here. So I was looking at the 5 minute. I was looking at the 1 minute really. And no, there's probably a better reason because it doesn't make as much sense today because they reached back down into an order block. Yeah, so I saw the volume imbalance. Zoom in on that. That, okay. So the volume imbalance. And let's get that just right. And I was thinking since we have this down close candle as the bullish order block, you'd want to be below that, right? I think I had like 11 ticks or something on that stop loss. And then let's go back to the 1 minute for that. So we had relatively equal highs here and then, coming up into here. So my original thought, since we're so close to the new equilibrium gap, was that. Boom, just like that. And then you saw me come back in here and think about heading up. And that would have worked relatively really well, but I didn't take it. What I need to do is pay attention and refine where I take the entries from because that that in all honesty is where I'm falling down. But that's okay. All right, so now we've and then of course they just kind of went parabolic after that. It's like, look at this. Like, what? And then this ridiculous shakeout. And now we have this gap. So I'm just gonna note that because they gapped down when they opened up. So my thoughts is that they'll want to like come back up. You have relatively equal highs up here. So they've spiked up into the gap a little bit and then they've dropped. So let me just change that. I think I have a new day opening gap in here. There we go. So let's keep that moving. The gray one is the new week one. The week started, so it's Friday. It's profit taking day. So let's see, what have they done? So let's drop down into the 1 hour and see. So they took buy side out. Let's take that out off there. And they stayed inside of this bodies have. So bearish order blocks, they've stayed inside of the entire thing. They wicked below it. That's okay. So right now on the 1 hour, they are hanging out inside of a new week opening gap and this fair value gap right here on the 1 hour. The next area of real interest besides, so this is a BISI, right? Buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, because they just, and the question is it really? Because they've rebalanced the SIBI here and the SIBI here, and then just kind of brought it back to where they were before on Monday. Huh, interesting. So we're back to having, well, sell side all the way up there. We're inside a new week opening gap midpoint, and it's 746. So let's drop here. I'll try not to make this video too long. Already at 19 minutes. Okay, that's not bad. All right, so my expectation is that they're going to want to, fill in that gap. Now let's take a look at what the 15-minute looks like. So we have that gap. Got order block up here. They've it's not a lot of fair value gaps on the way up here. They've just shifted. They need to get past this order block though. All right, let's see what we have on the 5 minutes. Do we have anything per the model? So we've dropped precipitously. We've risen ourselves back to this order block. We have not taken it out. We've made a higher low, taken out whoever went long from here. And there's nothing, so fair value gaps or, well, there's one here. It's none. It's all very balanced. Nothing here. There's one here. So let's see what they're doing inside of it. I like to be visual and to visually note it. Okay, so we've come into a bearish order block. We haven't taken it out. Took out that fair value gap. And now we're what? Turning it into support or resistance. Let's cycle down. So we have a nice shift here that they made a top, then we made a shift, lower thing. So if I'm going to try even to remotely consider being bullish, what would I expect? So removing that and noting this fair value gap. Nothing there, volume imbalance there. This is the last red candle, right? Down candle before it moved and shifted. What do we have? We have a lot of sell side being taken out. All of that. That. So, and we are at the top of a fair value gap. So let's cycle down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Now PCE is coming out at 8:30. So I'm not crazy. It's Friday. So we have a bunch of news coming out at 8:30 that may or may not drive everything. We have a few things at 9:45, 10. So get ready for the volatility. Ignore me. All right, so they took out buy side here. It's relatively equal highs where stops are hanging out, just chilling. Took that out. So in the 1 minute, got nothing really. Something here. What's the 3 minute look like? Honestly, my preference would be for them to, come back down and take it out. But looks like maybe they have other plans still inside of this order block. Volume imbalance right there. So let's see. My mission, if I have one, is to basically 5 handles, right? If I were to get anything, 5 handles. Now, one thing that I have not been doing is just looking at my model and reminding myself every day. So what I'm looking for. So that's gonna have to And, I'm just gonna have to be patient. I'm so blind some days. So let's see. We've got a lower low, traded through. So we have a breaker here that they've been hanging out inside. Let me use the highest, the body green candle. So if I'm being, and it's inside of this fair value gap. So let's note the breaker, right? And my expectation would be for them to come back down into the breaker. This is the whole breaker. Assuming I'm right and I've picked the right candle for that. So we don't have another order block inside of this breaker. So low, lower low, traded through. Let's look at it on the, whoops, that's a Q, not a one. Put it on the 1 minute. Okay. This is where they got me yesterday. So I learned my lesson. Not gonna do it again. No, no. All right, so if I were to take a long from here, my preference would be, since we have all of this fun, is to get an entry somewhere down here. And can I have my 8 ticks just at the base? And then 21 ticks would take me just above this volume imbalance into this bigger imbalance and this order block right here. So can we get that? That would, of course, put us back inside of here. So, they might want to, I don't know, drop down. So whatever entry I'm looking for, like the order block, I have to be below it. So if this is the last down candle, the breaker is all of this. So I just want, see, look at what they did. So I want my stop loss to be below the breaker. There's this volume imbalance right here that I'm not willing to ignore. And I also need to take a look at the bigger picture, right? They came into an order block up here, and maybe they're just taking these guys out to give me an opportunity for a short. Let's see. So they can come back down, in which case, we've been going short this whole time. They came back up into this order block, in which case they might just be giving me an opportunity for a short. The long, look at them. Look at them. Okay, so let's say I was prepping to buy right here. I want them to come down just a smidge more. Come on. Okay. All right, let's test this out. I'm only giving them 9 ticks. And let's see if we can't get 21 ticks. Okay, maybe even 22. Relative equal highs here. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Should have waited, digging further down in here. Fingers off. Submit myself to process. And let's see. They're back inside. Now, technically look at it both ways, right? Let's see. Are we back inside this new week opening gap? We are. They could just be coming back up to here to take the short, to continue on down to take these guys out. I'm using this bigger shift to follow the process, and let's see. 7:57. Would prefer to have gotten in and out by 8, but you do what kind of shows itself. Let's see what this looks like on the 5-minute. Should have set my entry to that volume imbalance. I knew they were going to come back to hit that, and I would have had a better stop loss. But we are living and we are learning. Let's note it. If they close a candle below that, then I'm just going to close it, because then they're not serious about returning upwards. And I am wrong. But very juicy equal highs up here. We have another shift, so let's see if I'm just being... So if we have obvious buy side up here, where am I aiming for? I want 21 ticks, right? At minimum. We have buy side here. And looks like that. Let's also say use that low, that high. Let's use this low, that high. Okay. Or those areas of overlap. Except for here. It's a nice overlap. 4146 at 1.5. Well, if they're gonna break out, it's possible. 33 ticks. I gotta be careful though, because it's gotta be done before 8:30. Still inside the breaker. Tapping that volume imbalance. See what's up. Phone's blowing up. You ever wonder, like, why it always feels like they're always like fighting against your entry? Does it ever? It always. Does it feel like that to you guys sometimes? It feels like that to me sometimes. Like right now, it's almost like this fair value gap is holding it down. So we need to we need some we need to bust through with some gusto. Close inside the volume imbalance. Still haven't closed outside of it yet. I don't like the behavior. Should have chose the order block, but okay. So looks like I'm wrong. And there it is. Okay, so they just came up here to tap into this and drop. Down she blows. Bounce is no longer valid. All right, so let's see. Shift, high, higher, high. If we give a good shift down here, the breaker is here. So let's watch it. You know, I'm silly. I haven't even checked these other guys today or the Dixie. Just kind of jumped in, right? Bad habit. And maybe they just wanted to take these out before they roll back up. So the Dow is hasn't taken out its lows. Okay, let's add the NASDAQ back in. And let's change that. Okay, the NASDAQ's taken out its lows. High, lower high, flat, flat. Well, the NASDAQ was pointing downward. I don't know. Let's see. And what? I keep doing that. Sorry about that. And what is the Dixie doing? 5 minutes. Let's add the Dixie in here. So let's see what my... Wait, what? That was 9 ticks, right? So that's normal. So how is it that 8 ticks was 150 twice yesterday and 112 today? 9 ticks was not 112 today. Doesn't make any sense. But all right, I'm not going to fight. All right, so you've taken these guys out. You've tapped this fair value gap. Sorry, the bigger one is the one, the daily one. And come into this order block. Is that what's happening? Or am I just... Well, we're inside this new week opening gap now, so we have sell side taken. It never came back up to this. I mean, I'm not going to take any more trades because I'm going to have to wait until after... What's the news? After 10, so 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then I'll see what formulates for me. Maybe I can somehow save myself. But anyway, I'm not going to mess with PCE. I'm just going to wait. So we'll stop there. Trying to have that discipline that I didn't have earlier this week. So happy trading. Be safe. Drop a like, drop a comment. Shakira.